Yeah, I'm not talking about exploiting children and putting them to work in nuclear waste factories or as farm hands or putting them in coal mines.
That's not good.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about, in fact, this goes on very nicely in Asia and places like Japan, where students, if they want to work, we're not also saying indenture them. We're not saying force them to work. We're saying if they want to work, let them work. And by the way, these custodial jobs, I'm not saying push them out of their jobs either, because they've got families and children to take care of. But some janitors do sleep on the job. If you got a problem, get a student in there.
So, Dennis, we're not talking about coal mines and that sort of work. Newspaper routes, things like that.
Or just say, like, making rugs, like 8-year-olds do in India. Look,
TYT publisher Tyler, the producer, reminded me that the unofficially official media arm of the Republican Party was advocating for child labor at least 11 years ago, when a current teen entering the workforce with a part-time job would have been a toddler. Well, a Nebraska middle school reporting a child with acid burns led to one of the largest investigations into child labor in the U.S. The Department of Labor found children as young as 13 were working overnights cleaning slaughterhouses. PSSI, the nation's leading slaughterhouse cleaning service with 15,000 workers and 432 plants, taking in more than $1 billion a year, serves JBS Slaughterhouse, an immense plant that produces 5% of the beef in America. JBS can butcher 6,000 cows a day, but each night, the plant was turned over to PSSI for cleaning from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. And before I continue, you should know that Labor Department investigator Shannon Robledo said, quote, "In some cases, they were 13-year-olds working and they were identified by PSSI as being in their 30s. More on this later. Also, PSSI settled with the government. It did not dispute the finding that it hired children. PSSI promised not to do so in the future and agreed to regular audits. The company paid the maximum fine of $1.5 million, which was about 1% of its cash on hand. Now, I would like to remind you that what tipped much of this off was teachers in Nebraska who noticed acid burns on a child. Nebraska is where this recently happened.
We have killed 2,000 babies since abortion became legal. Those are 2,000 people in the state of Nebraska that could be working and filling some of those positions, and we have vacancies. They're not here. Our state population has not grown except by those foreigners who have moved here or refugees who have been placed here. Why is that? It's because we've killed 200,000 people. These are people we've killed.
Just to make sure I've got this right, the reason we need to make abortions illegal is because we don't have enough slave labor. That about cover it?
When advancing a near total abortion ban last month, Republican State Senator Steve Erdman said that an abortion ban is also necessary because there are too many of those foreigners and refugees. See, once upon a time, Steve Erdman of Bayard was one of a handful of legislators who endorsed Charles Herbster for governor of Nebraska, saying he believed in Herbster's plans and dismissed the criticism against Herbster as coming from people who were trying to maintain the status quo. That criticism was 8 women, including a sitting state senator and former legislative staff member, having accused Herbster of groping them or forcing himself onto them at political events going back to 2019. Also, while we're at it, during a Trump rally in 2022, 45 defended Herbster, and former NFL player Jack Brewer cast the 8 or 9 women out in the name of Jesus. Charles Herbster cast himself as an outsider, running with the blessing of former President Donald Trump. Herbster, by the way, didn't even make it past the Republican primary. In October of 2022, he dropped his defamation suit against one of his accusers, and that accuser ended their sexual battery case. With that said, lawmakers in Republican-led states are proposing and passing legislation to roll back child labor regulations. In states like Iowa, Missouri, Ohio, and Arkansas, newly passed or pending laws allow companies to hire children without work permits and allow children to work longer hours under more dangerous conditions in places like construction sites, meat packing plants, and automobile factories, per NPR. The Department of Labor reported a 69% increase in the number of children, many of them undocumented migrants, employed illegally by companies since 2018. You may have heard recently about a Guatemalan migrant who claimed he worked as a miner cleaning a slaughterhouse in Kansas by night while attending high school during the day. Well, he is actually 21. But what we're finding out is that it might be advantageous for migrants to identify as minors, while at other times needing to be an adult in order to get work. So there's that. But the people claiming that there's a great replacement are replacing an absent workforce who they don't want to pay living wages with kids and migrant kids. Thanks for watching. Meet the next Donald J. Trump. He's already been called a sexist and a racist. So watch how 45 inspires him. You can find the link to that video in the description below. If you're looking for more of my content, click the Jeff Wiggins hashtag or visit my YouTube channel called We Gonna Be Alright. And as a reminder, my architect knows Japanese.